maximum weight loss. I know it's on trend. I know people out there that are sweating by it, that are convinced in this diet, and this is my opinion about that way of eating. First, I'm Janina Vlad, the founder of leanoncarbs.com. I've lost weight in 2020, over 45 pounds, and for the past 3 years I managed to keep it off while eating the same foods. Of course, I'm not eating that level of calorie intakes as back then. I now eat around 24 calories a day. Back then I was eating more, of course, over 3,000 calories a day. By choosing this diet, high carb, low fat, whole food, plant-based vegan diet, I found it easy to get rid of the excess body fat, lean down, and to keep my low BMI for these years. It was for the first time in my life, for the first time in my history with diets and with my struggles with yo-yoing, when I succeeded to keep off all the pounds I shed off. Because in the past, of course, after losing weight, because I was losing weight by cutting down calories, so I was using that principle of calorie deficit. I used that for 12 years. So I was losing weight, of course, but because nobody can maintain a deficit of calories for all their lives, of course, I was putting back the weight plus some more. And after that, because I was hating myself and self-loathing for my lack of willpower to stick with better foods and to eat less, I felt like I'm greedy to want to eat to reach satiety. Of course, every time I was reaching a top and I was seeing the number on the scale that was growing, I had to start cutting calories down again. And that's why I had these ups and downs for my 20s and prior that, after high school. But now, with this diet, I found that was not the only way to lose weight, cutting calories. Actually, that it's a weight gain promoter, as I've seen in my life, and as studies show that cutting calories is only a way to train your body to store more fat in the future, because that is like a famine, and the body wants to adapt in order to have more energy for the longest, to keep us alive. So when I lost the weight, I lost it in this sustainable way, by eating to reach satiety from the right source of fuel, from plants, these plants that are high in carb and low fat, high in water and fiber. So to have the bulk with 0 calories, to stretch all the stomach receptors to feel that satiety. Because we get a rush of dopamine while eating. Dopamine is this hormone of feeling good. It's the reward of nature reward that we are doing something great for our survival. That means providing calories to the body. And after eating, if you reach satiety, it's another jolt of dopamine, another like a plus, a bonus, a reward bonus that tells you, okay, you did it great. You reach until you ate until full. You reach satiety. So reaching satiety from these foods that everybody is enjoying, is indulging, that are very rich in calories. They are very high in fat and low in fiber and water. They are very packed with calories per meal. Of course, you become obese. But when you eat to reach satiety of these foods that are very low in fat, high in carb, and carbs are our best fuel, and high in fiber and water to dilute the overall calories of the meal, you reach satiety and you don't have a surplus of calories. Do you understand? You eat just enough, like 800 calories per meal. Multiplied by 3 meals a day means 2,400 calories a day. Do you see? That is the math of losing weight. No need to cut calories. And now we are talking about this maximum weight loss. Maximum weight loss promotes, yes, plants high in carb and low fat, but their main focus is on the lowest in calorie density per pound foods, the lowest from these whole foods, from this whole food high carbs. So we have in this group of high carbs, low fat, whole foods, we have fruits, vegetables, starchy vegetables, whole grains and legumes. And in maximum weight loss, they focus on the lowest in sugar fruits that have the lowest calorie density. They focus on vegetables because they have very few carbohydrates. They are very high in water and fiber, a little bit more protein, but they are low in calories. They focus, of course, on potatoes and on grains and legumes. But the sweet fruits are not even in the second plan, not even in the third plan. They are just isolated as a form of once in a while treat, like that. And the plate is divided, of course, in two, and this non-starchy vegetables on a half or even three quarters of the plate. And what's the rest is for starchy vegetables or starchy grains, starchy foods, grains. And this is another form of calorie deficit. Look, when you adopt this diet that is high in carb and low in fat, that is whole, that means has the fiber in, has the water in, you don't ever need to restrict calories again. You don't need to eat in deficit. It's a very stupid thing to do. No animal in the world does that. And no animal in the world has weight problems. They don't have issues with weight management. They don't restrict calories. They don't restrict portions. They eat to reach satieties. And this is a trick from the right sources of calories for their species. You see, this is the deal. And with McDougall promoting this maximum weight loss back in the, 80s, when the book was published, or in the 70s, is like they don't have a clue. Is that like they don't understand that this being our foods, we don't have to restrict it. We don't have to restrict our main source of fuel, which is glucose. Why to restrict sweet fruits, for God's sake? So you don't need to restrict portions when you eat your species-specific diet. You will lose weight by removing all the excess you had on your previous, very refined, high in animal products diet. When you remove all that excess of calories, all that surplus that is coming from that very high density, high caloric density foods, you will lose weight as a result of removing all this. And of course, there are different mechanisms that happen in our body. We lose weight also because by eating all these foods that are very nurturing to our bodies, we heal the problems hanging in our body. We heal the inflammation, so we reverse it. So you lose weight because you are not inflamed anymore. You balance your hormones, you heal your thyroid and other endocrine problems, and you lose weight. You reverse your diabetes, so your body becomes more sensitive to insulin. So your pancreas needs to produce less insulin because there is no need for more. So you won't have spikes of insulin. You won't have spikes of glucose. Your cortisol will go down as well. Also, your body will detoxify. And you heard that you cannot lose weight naturally and on a healthy way, when you are inflamed, but also when your liver is fatty, your liver it's ill, your colon is filled with stacked food for days and weeks. That means your body is toxic. When you eat all these plants with all the water and the fiber, all the phytonutrients that come with them, because they have this power to sustain our life and to detoxify our liver and colon, all the body, all the blood. You don't need to restrict. You will lose weight as a result of reversing all these conditions you might have right now and removing all these calories that you are currently eating in surplus. So yes, it is about calories. I'm not saying that it's not about calories when you lose weight, but it's not in the way that we believed. So you are like here, 2400 calories, like your body needs, the level of energy your body needs for the functions, to function properly, and for the activities you are currently doing. So when you were on a standard diet, you had an intake higher, with smaller portion than I have right now, because when we eat bread with butter and with ham and with cheese and pizza, of course they are very much calories packed in a small volume. So you might be having less than 2 pounds, of course, less than 2 pounds of food per meal, and I have 2 to 3 pounds of food per meal. But you ended up having around 3,500 calories at the end of the day, if you restricted. Because if you eat 2 pounds of those foods that are obesogenic, you end up being obese. You end up having over 700 calories a day. That's why people restrict their portions on a standard diet. That's why people drink coffee and other appetite suppressants, and smoke and drink green tea, take pills, in order to make sure they don't eat to reach satiety. Because if they eat the full stomach of those foods, they get obese. So you lose weight by removing all these 1000 calories or more if you are obese, all this surplus. You go down to eat a lot of food to reach satiety, so you will feel the fullness and you won't feel the need for coffee, because you give actual and proper energy from the proper fuel, gasoline, that is glucose. So no need for sweets, you won't go for treats, you won't go for cakes and brownies. You will be like here. You will eat enough calories and your stomach will be full. You will feel satiety and you will lose weight by removing the excess, and of course by reversing your health conditions. So do you understand why there is no need to go with your calorie intake below this threshold? You don't need to eat in deficit to lose weight. You only need to do these things that promoted weight gain in the first place in your body. That is the deal. McDougall is against fruits. Oh my God! That is the most, I won't say bad word. This is a nonsense. What happens when you avoid fruits, and especially sweet fruits? You will reach for sugary things, and sugar is an isolated molecule. Sugar is a refined product, man-made product. Doesn't exist in nature. Our body are not designed to process well sugar, isolated sugar. So that's why promote obesity. So people avoid eating bananas and reach later for having the sweet treat, having all the junk food that have sweet in it, but also oil and other obesogenic ingredients, animal fats and other animal products and flour. Do you understand? Don't do that, because doctors like McDougall, who promote these diets that are very high in vegetables, I love vegetables, but don't put your focus on vegetables. Come on, put your focus on starchy vegetables, on potatoes and sweet potatoes with a smaller side dish of vegetables. So don't ever have a bigger volume of non-starchy vegetables than your starchy vegetables. And regarding fruits, don't put your focus on those fruits that are very low in sugars, because you will end up entering in deficit. That means you will become sluggish, you won't have energy, and you will become ex-vegan. You will crave a lot of your not old friends, but you know what I mean, the food that you loved before this diet. You will crave them a lot, and of course you will become ex-vegan, and you will promote a carnivore diet, saying that plants lack energy. No, plants don't lack energy. The plants that are promoted on maximum weight loss program lack energy. The diet lacks energy. Yes, you might have more nutrition than on other diets, because all these vegetables and potatoes, these high carb, low fat, whole food plants, yes, have the highest amount of nutrition per calorie. But over time, in a few months, you will become maybe faster. You become maybe even brain fog, because our brain needs a lot of calories. It's around one quarter of our daily intake goes to the brain. So no wonder. And you will lack actually calories and the proper fuel for our body, which is glucose. And people fear glucose because they believe bananas are bad. Even him, without saying why bananas are bad, he avoids banana. And people on this weight loss journey, they eat only half a banana with the oatmeal. I eat 4 bananas on oatmeal, for God's sake. So my story, my experience with weight loss and trying maximum weight loss approach. I tried for a week. I couldn't do it anymore because I was at the beginning. I wanted more results and faster. And I was having for breakfast steamed broccoli with oatmeal. And they say this is easy. What's easier than peeling some bananas and eat? I had to cook the oatmeal. Not cook, to prepare. I had to cook the broccoli. So it's more time consuming. Every meal I had to cook it or to have leftovers. Not every meal was cooked. And with sometimes something raw aside. But focusing on those vegetables and eliminating majority of fruits, having an apple from time to time and some berries, made me so sad and so deprived, and I was I was not happy. I couldn't sustain it anymore. I was craving the bananas. Of course, I was craving the sugars, the energy. I lost more weight, yes, but for the next weeks, I plateaued eating the same food I ate before when I was losing, because I was in a deficit in that week of maximum weight loss. So when you put your focus on these vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, and on eliminating fruits, you end up starving. You don't need to go there, guys. Don't need to go there. You have to stay away of the people that promotes to you this kind of approach. Yes, plants are good. Yes, plants are great. Yes, plants are high in carb and low fat. You can eat them through satiety, but stay away from fruits. Don't eat bananas. No more than half a banana for your oatmeal to give some sweetness, because eating bananas make you crave later in a day. That is the biggest bullshit ever. I am eating bananas. For the past a lot of years, I'm eating 2 pounds of banana pulp, banana flesh a day. And it's for the first time in my life. I have years without cravings. And I used to crave a lot of chocolate. Later in the day, around 4 p.m., I was craving chocolate and pastry and a lot of bread. I was craving pancakes and, of course, cheese. So I succeeded in keeping me vegan, staying vegan for the past 10 years by adopting this high carb, low fat, all food diet. Of course, I did my mistakes. I will do more videos about that, because I started eating high carb, low fat, plant-based vegan diet in 2014, so 10 years ago. But for the majority of time, I did some mistakes, and I didn't do it right. I was focused on high carb, but I wasn't focused on whole fruits. Whole foods. So I did my mistakes, and I will dive deep in those in future videos. But now, like I'm saying to you, and I'm here to be a testimonial for how sweet fruits are not promoting weight gain and obesity and diabetes. I have my blood test. They are 2 weeks old. Every now and then, like every 2 or 3 years, I check my blood, and I will share it with you. And I'm not pre-diabetic after all those years, 10 plus before entering in my high carb era in 2014. Yes, I was eating bananas too. So after all these 12 years of eating a lot of bananas, I'm not craving, guys. I'm not craving. I'm not obese. I lost weight. I keep it off. So bananas are not the problem. Sweet fruits are not the problem. When you eat these foods, high carb, low fat, whole food foods, plant-based of course, you don't need to restrict the portions again, and you don't need to eliminate fruits. Don't do that, because you will crave later the processed foods that are obesogenic and promote weight gain fast in your body. Okay, now I'm finished with this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my rambling. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you tried this maximum weight loss approach, and what was your experience? I would love to read your story. Like, share and subscribe, and see you in the next